Hi there, and welcome to Celeb Hut. While it appears as though Kanye West was certainly onto something when he said that Diddy is purportedly working for the federal authorities on the grounds that from the way that this situ is playing out, did he may be pulling off his violations? And as per Kanye, it's all a result of an arrangement that he purportedly made with the federal authorities, besides the fact that Diddy's supposedly working with is the federal authorities. But on the other hand, he's been supposedly squealing on the Hollywood elites and taking care of them data on the most proficient method to bring down every one of them. And in return, he's been getting resistance. Purportedly, Kanye has an entirety parcel to say regarding Diddy, so we should separate us currently. I'm certain that you folks have seen the video delivered by CNN showing Diddy fiercely harming Cassie and being an entire beast at the Intercontinental Inn in central Los Angeles in 2016. In the video, Cassie frantically attempts to escape, making her way into the lift anyway. Diddy, wearing just a towel and a few socks, runs out of the room, pursues her down the foyer, and effectively drugs her back to their room. He puts his hands on her over and over, declining to let her leave. Solely by CNN seems to certify a portion of the charges against music head honcho Shaw Diddy Combs. The video caught on multiple cameras shows Combs, then sweetheart Cassie Ventura in a passage at a Los Angeles lodging in spring 2016. A claim documented by Ventura in November last year and settled the following day referred to activities that appear to match those depicted in this video. Ghazi really referred to this occurrence in her claim, which was documented in November, where it said in or around Walk 2016, during a pho at the Intercontinental Lodging in Century City, Los Angeles, Mr. Combs turned out to be very inebriated and smacked Miss Venture right upside them head, giving her a bruised eye after he nodded off. Miss Venture attempted to leave the lodging, however. As she left, Mr. Brushes got up and started shouting at Miss Venture. He followed her into the foyer of the inn while holding at her, he snatched her and afterward took glass bases in the lobby and tossed them at her, making glass crash around them, and she ran to the lift to escape. However, the most disastrous part of this video is that Cassie laid on the floor without endeavoring to retaliate, while Diddy attacked her. This indict demonstrated that this wasn't whenever that Diddy first treated her along these lines, and she simply believed the trial should end in spite of the fact that she, in the end, figured out how to get away from. She was so frightened and terrified of what he would do to her that she endeavored to return and apologize to him, notwithstanding the way that he was the person who had violated her and harmed her, assuming there was anyone who ought to have been agreeing with a statement of regret. Diddy, the claim proceeded with, she figured out how to get into the lift, and when she got to the entryway, immediately took a taxi to her condo after understanding that her taking off would make Mr. Combs be indeed even furious and rear with her, and totally trapped in this endless loop. Miss Venture got back to the lodging, determined to apologize for taking off. When she returned, security staff encouraged her to get once more into a taxi and go to her condo, recommending that they see the security film. It was as of now that Diddy acknowledged exactly how seriously he had wrecked Cassie. Not for putting hands on Cassie, but for doing as such in the lobby where the CCTV cameras were. So he attempted to purchase out the archive and set upon him data in conviction. Mr. Combs paid Intercontinental City $50,000 for the lobby security film from that night. So from this proof, fans felt that he would at long last see a few lawbreaker allegations brought against Diddy. I mean, a fifth lady has even emerged to blame him for trying her in 2003. The lady is a model named Jem McKinn, and as per the reports, she guarantees the rapper employed her with liquor and perhaps bound grass during the 2003 experience, then carried her to the restroom and constrained her kneeling down, requesting she suck it. Reports proceeded to say that McKenna affirmed that when she wouldn't consent, Combs snatched her head and constrained her to perform oral activity on him. She blacked out and got up in a taxi to acknowledge she'd been tried, in spite of the fact that it remains hazy whether she really intended that there was an extra exposition past the oral experience. The miserable part about this claim is that it's basically the same as a claim documented by Jane Doe last year. You know, she guaranteed that she was supposedly gotten by Harvey Pierre, who took her to Diddy's studio, where she was purportedly gotten by Diddy and his companions, as indicated by the model Precious Stone. She and Diddy met during a men's style week occasion at Kanye, where he welcomed her to go along with him at his studio. A short time later, bartender McKinney claimed she and Combs drank some costly liquor with companions, and afterward, they started passing joints around the gathering. The grass was extremely strong, to such an extent that she started to feel she was drifting, and Faye had been locked with another substance. Combs then made her go to the restroom, where he constrained himself on her. McKinn asserted the suit after the episode. McKinney guaranteed she was debased from displaying and turned out to be discouraged to such an extent that she attempted to off herself in 2004. So purportedly, not just did Diddy hurt her, he likewise destroyed her profession. Precious Stone is presently on a mission to uncover him, since she accepts she has an ethical constraint to do as such as of now. Diddy's threatening way of behaving has caused fans to need him off the road. There were hypotheses that the spilled Cassie video would be all that could possibly be needed, yet the police said no and reported that they wouldn't be squeezing charges. The DA's office recently put out an announcement by means of the LAPD that said, "We know about the video that has been flowing on the web supposedly portraying Sean Combs harming a young lady in Los Angeles. We see the pictures as very upsetting and challenging to watch in the event that the lead portrayed happened in 2016. Sadly, we would not be able to charge, as the direct would have happened past the course of events where a wrongdoing can be indicted." To say that fans were stunned by this would be putting it mildly, and they were considering how he was so fortunate to pull off these CRI times. However, as per Kanye, it doesn't have anything to do with karma and all that to do with Diddy working for the federal authorities as a narc and source. Yet to the extent that mild plants Puff Daddy, whoever, none of the all you counterfeit hard, you know, hang on, all you counterfeit hard, you understand what I'm talking about. I get it on the grounds that you can't hurt anyone in any case, and the justification for why you gotta talk is because you made an arrangement you took care of. You know what I'm talking about. That is the reason you gotta come at me, because part of the arrangement for you to do that and escape prison was that you guaranteed that you were going to go draw my C vehicle, so you all shut up about me currently. Let me keep it quiet. You shut up about Michael right now. Kanye has been attempting to caution us about Diddy for some time now, yet we have only sort of overlooked it. In addition, it was around this time that Hollywood began attempting to persuade us that Kanye was insane. He was crazy, and he didn't have the foggiest idea what he was talking about, which is something typical among these reality tellers. The way that they went through such a lot of work to attempt to dishonor him ought to have been whenever they were first squeezed, yet we simply didn't have the foggiest idea how genuine his words were at the time, as indicated by an insider. Kanye has been intently checking this Diddy circumstance for quite a while and holding his ear to the roads. This incorporates something beyond the Cassie episode, which was, to be sure, awful. However, he faced huge backfire following Cassie's claim, and despite the fact that he trusts things would further develop subsequent to settling what is happening, as it deteriorated on the grounds that 4 additional ladies and a man have emerged to sue him and uncover him for improper ways of behaving. As indicated by the insider, Kanye wasn't especially shocked to discover that Cassie had been enduring at Diddy's hands, and he has consistently had some unavoidably strong inclinations. Some time ago, Kanye and Diddy had a similarity to a companionship, and Kanye supposedly saw Cassie's injuries a couple of times in spite of the fact that Cassie could concoct the standard reasons guaranteeing she found an entryway, hit her head on a wall, or was simply ungainly. Khan wasn't exceptionally certain, yet there truly wasn't that much that he could do since Cassie didn't look for his assistance and kept on rationalizing Diddy. So when reality came out, supposedly, Kanye was not stunned. Sources even say that he supported Cashin having boldness to stand in opposition to the hazier side of Hollywood. While Kanye wasn't astounded by Cassie's claim, he was profoundly stunned by different claims that followed. It's totally marvelous. However, Kanye purportedly isn't halting there. He likewise made sense of for what reason we're unexpectedly catching wind of these Diddy-inspire exercises. Obviously, this is on the grounds that he's on some unacceptable side of Hollywood elites, and they're on a mission to ooze them from their circle, regardless of the expense, and Kanye is likewise bringing up the twofold guidelines, taking note of how Hollywood insiders and organizations working with Diddy have turned a blind eye to his sketchy activities for a really long time, but at this point that the compelling figures in Hollywood are cutting ties, it appears as though everyone is anxious to limit any association with him. Mecca has been really attempting to caution us about Diddy and his circumstances for some time now. So what Kanye was basically talking about is that Diddy has had a stay for the Hollywood elites by any stretch of the imagination, and any mistake might actually lead him directly to prison, as these elites evidently have a sizable amount of proof for his wrongdoings and taking into account the way that individuals subscribe Celeb Hut for more videos.